Morning everyone. Right, I just wanted to show you some other paintings that I do, and because I do use a lot of different materials and mediums and whatever. Now these I'm going to show you are actually spray painted and using a brush as well. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one. If you've been on my website and seen it, which is www.artbyfiona.art.officelive.com, you will be able to see these up close, because I know that this camera is not going to pick them up clear. And so if you can, run along and have a look at them, but I'm just showing you these first. Now all of these paintings took between 10 and 20 minutes to do from start to finish. Some are on photographic paper, some are on canvas, and you need to do it you need to keep the cans of paint kind of warmish, so it's ideal to do them in at room temperature, so to speak. If you let them get cold, the paints go hard and they're no good. Keep them in a room temperature and they should be fine to work with. And all you need to use with them is a palette knife and brushes, and that's it, and the spray obviously. So I'm going to talk you through them one at a time. Now this first one was done on canvas, and what you do is I sprayed the first colour that I wanted just right across the page, across the canvas. Yellow, I did some white, then yellow, then got a red, orange, and sprayed across that, and then got red underneath it. And then I took a pan lid and placed it in the centre of the picture of the canvas. Then what I did, I sprayed all black around it. Then I took the lid off and I ended up with the sun, a sun setting. Then I have a large ruler, but you can use card, and I put it across the paper or the canvas like that, laid it onto the canvas but upright, so it was on the edge, and then sprayed white going across it. I also added a little bit of red, and I also added a little bit of blue, and then basically the spray painting was done. And then what I did, I also took a paintbrush and just put in 2 palm trees, and I also used I'll just get one to show you, one of these sponge brushes to do the leaves, the branches, excuse me. And then I hand painted using a brush the foliage at the bottom. That painting was done, and that one took about 10-15 minutes to do, complete from start to finish, complete. And I do like that one. What I could have done, and I think I may go back eventually and do, is I can put a silhouette of somebody I wanted to lean, wanted them to lean against one of the trees, a black silhouette of a person, legs crossed, leaning up against the tree. That would look really nice, and just giving it a bit of character. Now this one, again, done exactly the same. I took the canvas, I sprayed it all yellow in the middle, the size I needed for the disc, well, for the pan lid. Popped the pan lid on top, sprayed it all black around it. Now you can spray paint on top of each other, and it won't run or anything like that. It automatically layers properly. So I sprayed it purple on the sides, then sprayed a bit of white, and then lifted the lid off, and I had that scene. Then what I did, I took a paintbrush with black acrylic paint, and I just painted in excuse me, the trees, the tombstone, the cross, the fence, and all the black underneath with the foliage, and then added a touch of white to the trees, and that was done. This one is Spider-Man's eye, and what I did for this one, I sprayed randomly white across this corner. I then cut out a stencil of buildings and laid it over that when it would dry. I then sprayed across that blue to give it the skyline, waited for that to dry, and then I took a piece of card and cut it the eye shape and laid it over the buildings. And then what I did, I sprayed the whole canvas red, all of it red. Then I took a piece of card and went round it, you know, one piece at a time. I put the card across, sprayed the black in, and you just spray it basically onto the card, and what's the excess that drops onto the paper or the canvas leaves a black line. And once you've done that all the way around, then I took a sharp pointed tool and just scored in the shape of the web. Not sure, you can just see it, the shape of the web, and then went over with a piece of card again, spraying white onto certain areas, and it made it look like an eye, and it's Spider-Man's eye. Very quick and very easy to do. Now this one again is done with the same technique. I sprayed several colours in different areas excuse me, knowing what size lids I had. I mean, there were lids off bottle tops and things like that. To get certain look of a planet like it's spinning, all you do, once you've sprayed your 2 or 3 colours, take your finger and smudge it like that, and it makes it look like it's spinning. With this one, because I did a dark, a light colour underneath first, then I added red, then I added black, and just sprayed completely on top of each other. Then I screwed up some paper and dabbed it on, and it lifted the paint, and I got that effect. Then with this one, again, just using a cloth, rolled up cloth, 2 or 3 different colours, and dabbed it. Once I'd done that, I then put the pan lids on for all these bottle lids, and left that. Then sprayed the whole thing purple, and then I added a bit of green in. And obviously it had white underneath as well. Then I took off the pan lids and the bottle lids, and I ended up with the planets. Oh, before I did that, I also got some white paint and flicked it. You can just see speckles of stars in the background, so I flicked it with white paint, then took the pan lids off, and then I took my palette knife, which is this, laid it on its side, and while the paint was wet, I just did that, just moved it up and down, taking off the excess paint, leaving the colours that I'd put on underneath, and it made it look like mountain range. When I'd done that, then I took a piece of card and put it across the bottom and sprayed onto the card, but it dropped onto the paper white. And then again I took a card, just a plain piece of card, this is a thick plastic card, and sprayed some paint onto that at the bottom, put it onto the paper, drew it across and down, and you get the waterfall effect, and then very carefully sprayed white, so like it was hitting, it was the spray coming off as the water hits the bottom. Then what I did is I just used the spray can, the black spray can, and sprayed some what looked like rockery in the background, in the foreground here, and then again using a sharp instrument just scored in the plants and trees, and that painting was finished. Very, very quick and very easy. This one, however, was took about 20 minutes to do, so I'm going to show you best I can. Using the same technique, spraying all the colours on that I want. As you can see, this is 2 or 3 different colours. Just got my finger and smudged it across, and it made it look like it was spinning. This one was dabbed, using different colours, and again this one as well. And adding a bit of black, when you dab it with paper or cloth, it makes it look like you know, like potholes and things like that. This is the light shining off the camera, so I'm sorry about that, that wasn't intentional. Once I'd done all that and sprayed, left the lids on and sprayed it all black, sprinkled it again with white paint, and then what I did, oh sorry, before I did that, I did these. This is the first thing I did. I sprayed yellow and orange and black onto the canvas, dabbed them, laid on a piece of card like that in the pyramid shape, and then did the rest of this. So when I peeled that off and took the lids off, it looked like this was in front of the moon, front of this planet. And then once I'd done that, again using the palette knife, scored out the mountains or buildings or whatever you want to call them, space things. Took the palette knife edge, at the point, sorry, and just scored out, looks like a path going up to the buildings. To do the dome, you bend a piece of card and spray white paint onto the card, lay it onto the picture itself, and then it gives you that effect. It looks like it's in a glass dome, and I did that with each of these. I then took the ruler, the big ruler that I have, sprayed it white and blue, and then just smudged it along with my finger. It made it look like water. I then took the card again and put it on the corner, sprayed it black, and all I did was use the palette knife again to score out this pattern so it looks like you're looking through a spaceship or something. But that's how I did that one. These are all basically done in the same way. To get the shooting stars, you tip the can upside down and tap it, and it just shoots out a spray, and you get that effect. Then bending the card and spraying white paint onto the card that drops onto the canvas, you get the dome again, so it looks like something shot off. To do this one, you just place a piece of card like this, you know, a big piece of card, and lay it down on the paper or canvas, spray it onto that, and it leaves a dusting of white paint. Move it around, do the next one, and so forth like that. When you've got all the ones that you want, then just sprayed a little bit of paint, white paint in the middle, and it looks like a star shining. So that's that. This has got pyramids in the background as well. This was a sunset. Sorry. Again doing the same effect. Started off with a dark red and black underneath, put the disc on, sprayed over that with different colours, like a sunset and yellow, just did it in layers. Then I put, I painted the whole thing black first. I sprayed all of it black and used a silhouette, like a stencil of two people kissing. I left that on and then did everything else. And then when I peeled that off at the end, I got that. And then used the brush to do the trees and all the grasses and the birds. It was so easy. That's another spray painted one using, I mean, these are the way you scrumple your paper and just lift the colour off it. It's fantastic. And I will be showing you how to do all this. Again, turning some into waterfall. So it's like being on a planet looking up to other planets. The one under the sea. Sprayed all of it, 2-3 different blues, obviously getting darker as you go to the bottom. First of all, sprayed it black, this area, then put the card on of a dolphin, then sprayed it all in the different blues, then peeled the dolphin off. I mean, obviously it dried when I put it on, peeled it off, and it left the black silhouette. Turn the white can upside down so the spout's on the card, or I think this was done on photographic paper, and sprayed it one way and then just turned the can round, and it got the effect. It looks like the sun's shining through the water. And then just scored these in with a sharp instrument, and then hand painted some of the coral reef. This is done exactly the same, you know, spraying your colours on first, putting your lids on, and then spraying the sky behind. And then using a silhouette again, templates again. So it sprayed it all black and then colouring it and then taking off these and then hand painting in all the bits that took next to no time at all. Oh, sorry, there's that one as well. This was just practicing, seeing what it was like. In fact, I think that one's upside down. Yeah, I think I've done that one. That's that way.